So we met Caroline when we were looking for an independent midwife.
Yeah.
Because what my partner Simon and I really wanted was to have a home birth, and we also, what was really important to us was that we would know the midwife that was going to be there for the birth of our son. So we started looking for an independent midwife because the NHS couldn't guarantee us either of those things, and that's when we met Caroline. And she kind of started us on the journey about 3 months. I was pregnant about 3 months when we met her, and continued with her obviously all the way through. Really, she brought an immense amount of love and trust and support for us, which is really, I felt like what we really needed. I didn't really feel like we wanted to or needed to do a lot of courses and things, but definitely her vast experience, especially with the Mindful Mama stuff as well, just let her be all those things to us already. We did do the NCT course with Chrissy, who is also one of the independent midwives, and she was very fantastic in the NCT course that we did, and just being able to ask those questions and also then get to know her beforehand. And she was obviously there when Jasper was born as well, so that was really fantastic. But I didn't have a chance to do a Mindful Mama or a Beautiful Births course or anything like that, though from friends I hear they're absolutely fantastic. But we really felt like we needed and wanted, that I don't think we could have articulated it at the start if somebody had asked us, but looking back, what we really made all the difference to us was not necessarily having someone there to help us with the birth of our child, because we felt quite confident that, you know, the baby knows what they're doing, mum knows what they're doing. It was just to be able to have someone there holding the space for us with love and support, to let us do, you know, what women do, and just to let it happen in a really safe, loved, supportive environment. And it just made all the difference to us, and we just had the most absolutely wonderful birthing experience with Caroline and Chrissy. And just to be able to have that, it sounds like the simplest, most common sense thing in the world, to just have love and support and someone who trusts you, your baby, to be able to do what comes so naturally. But it's not, and it's really hard to find, and just to be able to have that for us, we still talk about it almost on a daily basis, how much that meant to us. Well, actually just today, Caroline, while she's been doing this, she's been on the phone to my sister-in-law, who's 36 weeks pregnant, has just gone into labour, and been in contact with them all the way through their experience with the hospital, even though they're not even clients of hers, just because of her relationship to us and the relationship we've built, and her love and care and passion, absolute passion for women's choice, and for women to trust their bodies and to help them through a crazy system. And so, you know, we don't see her every week anymore, obviously, and all those things, but we've been in touch so much ever since. And back in November, when it was our son's first birthday, she came to his blessing, his baby blessing out in the New Forest, and it's just, it doesn't stop, because it can't stop, I don't think, when you have that kind of a relationship with someone and you build up, and there's so much connection there, there's so much love, there's so much trust, and they're there on the most significant day of my life. You know, the most transformational thing I've ever gone through, that we've ever gone through, the birth of our son. She was there, and she facilitated us being able to have such an incredible experience. I don't think that stops. You can't just let that connection go, or for us we can't. Everyone is so different, and everyone has such different worldviews and different fears, and I think the most important thing for us, and the best advice I think we ever received, was get to know your fears. And that was actually like Caroline and Chrissy, very much that, you know, get to know your fears and make friends with them, and then address them so that you're not facing those fears when you're giving birth. And I think everyone's fears are really different, and there's been quite a few friends of mine who've been pregnant who, for whatever reason, haven't been that happy, but also haven't, even after I've spoken to them about some of the choice that they haven't really gone for that option. They've still stayed within the system, because I think there's a lot of fear out there. And I think women are not encouraged to trust themselves. I don't think women realize they need love and support, they don't need help. But I think the system's so quick to give help over love and support, and I think that is the key difference. And that's what, for me, is so heartbreaking, so unbelievably heartbreaking about potentially losing independent midwifery, is because that is the only way women have choice. You know, that some people choose, for whatever reasons, to go the NHS way, to go the hospital way, because that for them is the way they need to experience things. But the fact that after October there won't be any choice any choice for women to say, actually, I want to do things differently. Actually, I want to, you know, to do this my way, is unbelievably heartbreaking. And I think very worrying, because when there's no alternatives, also who's keeping the system that we have in check? And right now women have choice, and they can say, I disagree with this, I disagree with how this is working, or it's not for me and I'm going to go somewhere else. But what happens when women can no longer say, this isn't for me, when that's the only option that they have? I think what we lose is so tremendous and so fundamental in so many more ways than can be counted right now. And I also think that what it does is, right now we have choice, and we all know that once that choice is taken away, it's not coming back. We've seen that in so many other countries, and that's just what's so heartbreaking. I guess I've said it. I'm sorry I keep going on about the same thing. It's just that that choice is gone, and is probably gone for good. And the reason we chose it was because we wanted not help, but love and support. That's why we chose Caroline. That's why we chose independent midwifery, Wessex Independent Midwives. And to then think we're going to be living in a world after October where the choice isn't, do you want to have love and support, or do you want to have help? It's just help. It's just going to hospital. That trust of a woman's natural ability to birth her child, the trust of that baby, that it knows exactly what it's doing when it comes down that birth canal, that's going to be gone. And instead we're going to have help. But women don't need help. They need love and support in almost all cases. And that's why I'm so, so sad.